Well, first of all, before we start, can you just pronounce your name for us? Because I think we want to make sure we get it right.
Yes, it's Bassil Hafez,
Okay, that's what we thought.
and my nickname is the Habibi.
Can you explain your nickname for us? Because we talked about that as well.
So I just came out. Well, I just decided to do a nickname. I always wanted to do one, and I'm Middle Eastern, Egyptian, and Syrian, and I speak Arabic. So Habibi in Arabic means sweetheart. So my friends call me the Habibi always, and so I was like, always trying to figure out a nickname, and that just kind of it fits, especially because I'm Middle Eastern. And
So,
I'm a sweetheart.
so was it just for this fight that you started this nickname, or?
I kind of like had the epiphany recently, like I need to have a nickname. Kind of like everyone has a nickname. I didn't need to, but I never had one my whole career. And so, yeah, I was going to introduce it when I got to the UFC, and here I am.
So can you talk to us a little bit about how this fight came about? Because it's a little tricky, short notice. Can you just talk to me about how you found out?
Yeah, so I was basically cutting weight and just keep my weight low and training really hard just in hopes of someone pulling out of the fight, of like any fight this summer. And I said yes to several names of pullouts that happened recently, big names, and said yes to all of them. Didn't really get a yes back, and just continued to stay ready and prepare. And then when this fell out last week, I told my manager, I texted him right away. I said I would take that fight in a heartbeat, like no hesitation. And I think they were trying to get it. And then, they ended up, I think his team ended up picking Josiah Harrell, and then he had that issue happen with the MRI. And then I got the call Monday night from my manager, Jason House, with Iridium, and, tears of joy. It was just like, I was like in shock, but also like super excited, and it's like, it's a great feeling. I didn't know it was going to happen because I thought the fight was going to fall through and they were going to give him a different opponent or whatever, but, it happened Monday night. I got the call, and just so happy to be here.
Do you kind of prefer the short notice fight because you don't have to spend so much time thinking about an opponent, or would you have rather made your UFC debut with a nice camp?
I definitely would rather have had a camp, just because I feel like, as a fighter, you want to put the best product out there for the fans to see and for everyone to really enjoy. And when you short notice, you don't really get that opportunity. I'm still ready. Like, I've been training hard, and my weight is good, so I'm going to make weight, no problem. So it's just, it's not the best circumstances, but, my dream came true. I'm in the UFC. And sometimes your dreams don't happen on your guidelines and how you want it, but regardless, I'm going to take it, I'm going to run with it, and I'm happy to be here.
So for people who maybe haven't seen you fight, what can we expect from you? What kind of fighter are you?
Man, I'm a gritty fighter. I'm a hard-working fighter, gritty fighter. I'll always try and put on a show for the fans. I'm always going to try and, get the finish and not get finished. I take pride in that I've never been finished, and my goal is to, fight Jack and beat Jack this Saturday and prove that, I deserve to be here, and as well not get finished by Jack. I know he's finished his last few opponents in the first round. I believe I'm going to be the toughest opponent that he's fought lately. Nothing against the guys that he's fought. They're all great UFC fighters and like top-level fighters, but I believe I have something different, and I'm excited to show that on Saturday night.
What kind of fight are you expecting on Saturday night? Do you think it's going to be a 3-round war, or are you going to get in and out pretty quick?
I mean, every fighter wants to get in and out, get a submission or get a knockout, be quick. But it might be a 3-round war. He's a tough dude, and I'm not putting anything past him. I already seen his fights and watched him a bunch beforehand, so I know what I'm getting myself into. And however the fight goes, finish, 3-round war, I'm showing up and I'm ready to go. And my goal is to, put on a performance bonus type of, a bonus performance type of night.
Is there any pressure on you because you're coming in short notice? It's your UFC debut. This fight is kind of one of the ones that everybody's looking at, or do you feel like that's extra motivation? Like, hey, they're looking at him. They don't expect me to perform that well because I came off, short notice. What are you thinking as far as that goes?
I mean, I feel like my whole career I've always had something to prove, and I've had doubters. This is no different. There's definitely doubters that have messaged me or commented and said things like, you're going to get your butt whooped and this and that. I don't care. I've heard it all before. And so this is just another fight to me. Jack's a great fighter, and I'm ready for it. I know that a lot of people might doubt me, but doubt all you want. I'm showing up on short notice. I'm going to put on a great fight, and I'm going to stake my claim here in the UFC.
And last question for me. Say you get through this fight, you win. What's next? Do you feel like if you've proved yourself on short notice that you can call someone out? Do you feel like you want to get another fight real quick? What's the game plan afterwards?
I mean, so right now I'm just focused on this fight. I'm focused on winning against Jack and really putting on a good performance. afterwards, whatever happens, happens. You know, I'm in the UFC now at this point, so I would like to get another camp, or a full camp actually, and just be able to go out there and fight somebody. I don't have any names off the top of my head. There's a lot of guys in this company that are great fighters that I would love to fight. There's guys that I have fought before that are in this company that I would love to fight again, and there's guys that that I would fight that I've wanted to fight on the local scene that are here now. So it's just a good mix of a lot of great fighters. I'm not going to name one name, but I'll fight anyone.
Bassil, what's it like sparring Justin Gaethje?
Oh man, it's amazing. It's a humbling, great learning experience, and I look forward to it every time.
What's it like being over in that camp, man, and you know having such like champions and just man, you have a tough group of guys going on.
Man, Elevation Fight Team, we're doing something special. We have a lot of great fighters. It's been a blessing joining that fight team, and then doing my Muay Thai also with Justin Houghton at Pound for Pound Muay Thai, and then doing my Jiu-Jitsu with Steve Hordinsky at Catharo. It's been a great mix. You know, I moved to Denver and eventually switched to Elevation Fight Team, and I love training with them. There's so many good fighters in there, so many great minds, and we always have different bodies coming in from different organizations, popping in, you know, randomly on a Friday or Tuesday for sparring. And so it's humbling. It's honestly just like rewarding being there, learning from all these guys that are like UFC vets that have been fighting forever, and just growing every single sparring session, you know, going out there to not to win, but to learn.
Well, what was the reason for the switch? Was it just something that you needed to do?
Just a little falling out with my previous gym where I was at, and it just, after I had surgery actually at the exact same time, and so it was just like a culmination of a couple things that put me out from training. And then when I wanted to get back into it, I checked out Elevation and then decided to just stick with Elevation. I was at Factory X before. It's a great gym. Mark Montoya is a great coach. I just feel like I blend really well with Elevation coaches and the fight team there, and I'm just really loving everything about the choice I made of being an Elevation Fight Team.
Awesome, man. Thank you and good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for taking the time.
Yes, sir.
We recently had Donald Cerrone be inducted. Anytime, anywhere, any place. You're kind of living that with saying yes, yes, yes to the fights. How frustrating was it that your opponents were like not about it?
It's frustrating, but I kind of understand their point of view. Going against a debut guy who you know, come in and be able to shock the world. They might not want that kind of publicity or to have that happen to them. Regardless, it's the fight game. People are going to say no, and then some people are going to say yes. I just, you know, I wanted to earn my place. I wanted to be here, and so for me, I'm not scared of fighting anyone, and it's just about the right fight to get in here. And so, regardless, man, I think Jack's a great opponent. I think he's probably the toughest dude that I said yes to out of all the names, and that makes me excited. You know, I think he's a great striker, and I'm really excited to test myself against him overall and see, you know, what he has for me.
Excellent. As far as the debut, you know, big name, card, ESP, all the exposure, I'm sure this wasn't exactly how you wanted to debut, but still the excitement has to be there. Who got like the first call? Mom, girlfriend, somebody like, I made it. I got the contract.
Well, I was crying at first. It was like, I told my friends, like, first time, I'm 31 years old, the first time I ever, like, actually cried from happiness. Like, I see it in movies and stuff. It was, like, a crazy feeling. Like, I remember my manager, Jason House, called me and told me I got signed, I got the fight, and I just, like, started crying right away, man, just, like, so happy, so grateful. And then, you know, I called my coaches, I called my friends, and told them all, you know, the situation. I didn't get to tell a lot of the people that I care about just because, like, you know, everyone's kind of busy, and I've been running nonstop since I got the call. But, you know, I let my peoples know, and, you know, I'm doing this in honor of my parents. I know that they're watching down on me. I know that they're proud of me finally, you know, achieving my goal and getting signed here, and the work's not done yet.
Excellent. And last for me, some fighters do watch tape. Some don't. It's nothing. I don't want to go in there thinking about what he can do or she can do. You mentioned tape. So how much have you studied Jack and used that to your benefit, put a game plan with the team?
Yeah, a bunch. I mean, I've seen him fight already before I ever fought in the UFC, and I already was a fan of his striking style. And the way I am is I want to, like, you know, I want to fight the guys that I'm a fan of. I want to feel myself against them. It's like a true way of testing your will and testing what you have. And so I'm excited for this fight. You know, I already know about him. I already know his fights. I've seen most of his fights. And, you know, I'm excited. I'm ready.
Excellent. Thank you, sir, and good luck on Saturday.
Thank you.
Kind of playing off that, you know, people often assume that a debuting fighter is going to have jitters. You know, it's the big show. But you fought in be it big leagues. You fought for championships. Are you going to have that excitement when you're coming in there, or do you anticipate there might be those initial butterflies when you first start walking out into the arena floor?
Oh yeah, there's definitely gonna be butterflies. There's butterflies now sitting here talking to you guys. You know, this is like all surreal for me. It's something that I think I've dreamed of for so long and not achieved it yet. And so finally achieve it, it's just kind of like my mind is still settling in. Like I'm actually here. I'm actually doing this. So yeah, there's gonna be for sure some excitement, but it's gonna be good excitement. It's gonna bring the best out of me on Saturday night.
So what does your team do, knowing that there are some butterflies, but also trying to keep your head in place? What does this week look like? Is it just focusing on weight cut, or are there things that your team's doing to try to keep you focused on Saturday?
Slight game planning, slight tweaks, different things that we feel like we can execute against him on the feet and on the ground and in general. So just like minor touch-ups. There's really not going to be anything crazy that I can add. It's just mainly, like you said, weight cut, getting my weight down, keep my mindset right, which is good, and make sure I make weight and show up on Saturday.
And last thing for me, I guess, looking at Saturday, what things need to happen to make sure that you get your arm raised on Saturday? What are your keys to the victory?
My keys to the victory are be able to strike in a smart way, not get sloppy. When I get a takedown, be able to control him. Use my jiu-jitsu. I'm a first-degree black belt in Brazilian jiu-jitsu under Ricardo Miglioris at Balance Studios. And, just really push the pace. My cardio's been great. I've been working my cardio at Barwis Strength Conditioning out in Englewood, Colorado. They've really gotten me to be ready for this kind of moment. Short notice, come in and still be able to go 3 rounds. And so, it's going to be keys to victory are just make sure that I take control of the fight and dominate it.
Awesome. Best of luck on Saturday.
Thank you.